Wembley Stadium. As well as being the home stadium to the English national football team, Wembley is also the host venue to the nail-biting conclusion that all English football fans dread across the country, the playoff final. Playoffs were first introduced to the English Football League in the 1986-1987 football season. Since then, the EFL playoffs has been the scene of many thrilling football matches.
That's what he wants to do! Ravel, ambitious, brilliant!
In the football conference, the players were introduced in the 2002-2003 football season. In 2017, now called the National League, the playoff system completely altered the 15. Any team between 2nd and 7th competed for a place back into the football. In the 2024-2025 football season, many football teams will be looking at getting automatic promotion, but surely through the playoffs they will easily get promotion, right?
Leighton Orient, so here to finish it! United are up to Wembley in style. Abachi will finish it in style. And it's a brilliant finish. It's in from Matty Godin. One more push towards the Football League.
Hello there. I'm not sure how many of you are going to remember this, but about 4 months ago I did a documentary about automatic promotion. It was mainly a documentary about Bradford City and Leeds United getting promoted. Obviously I'm from Halifax, so Bradford and Leeds aren't too far away from here. But the last I checked it got 2,200 views. I love doing it. I love speaking to my friends about their clubs and what it's like, you know, to follow their clubs and how they felt seeing their teams get promoted. And I said at the time that I was going to do a second part. Now, when I said that, my team, FC Halifax Town, they got into the playoffs. They only just scraped into the National League playoffs with just 2 games to go. We'd been in it all season, but we just had a bit of a bad run towards the end, a lot of injuries. Our playoff campaign came crashing down when we lost to Oldham Athletic at Boundary Park. But it didn't matter if it was Halifax Town or any team really, I still want to do a part 2 to that promotion video. As soon as I focused on automatic promotion in the first part, I really want the second part to be about the playoffs. And I thought this would be a good time to talk about the playoffs because last season there was no team, at least between the 2nd and I think 5th, maybe 6th division, that had a team that finished 1 place below the automatic spots and got promoted. Every single team that just missed out on automatic promotion by 1 spot didn't go up last season. They didn't win the playoffs. The playoffs were all won by teams who had finished at least 2, 3 or even lower below the automatic promotion spots. The playoffs, as we all know this, we all know that they can be beautiful or cruel. And the thing is, a lot of people often say to me, well, that's life for you, that's football. Football can be cruel, but it can also be beautiful. The playoffs amplifies that in every way. And whilst I get that, when you're watching a regular football league season, you know, watching games week in, week out, it isn't, or it shouldn't be anyway near as tense as how the playoffs feel. Playoffs is literally all or nothing. What it can mean on the pitch, off the pitch, what it means to the players, the managers, the chairmen, fans. You know, there's always so many stories to tell. Your entire season is broken down to 90 minutes, or 270 minutes even. It's cruel, and sometimes I wonder how right the playoffs actually are. So today I'm just going to kind of look at the playoffs and what happened last season. And also, can I discuss, should things be better, or should we just accept the playoffs are the way they are, which logical answer is yeah. I'll start the video by saying that every single team that finished at least 1 place below the automatic promotion spots this season didn't get promoted. Sheffield United, Stockport County, Walsall, Wycombe Wanderers I think was in that mix at one point. None of them got promoted last season. But teams that finished in the playoffs below them, Sunderland, AFC Wimbledon, Charlton, they all went up, and I'm not sure how many of their fans were actually expecting to get promoted at the start of the season. or at the end of the season. And also, as I covered Bradford City and Leeds United last time, part of me really wanted this part to be about Sheffield United because they're another Yorkshire club. Unfortunately, as we know, Sunderland won instead. They've got Chris Wilder back now, lads, so you might come back again. Third time Wilder, so third time lucky. So we'll just take a bit of a quick, kind of fun look at how the English Football League playoffs panned out this season and just the overall bizarreness that no team that finished one place below the automatic spots got promoted this season. I think it's enough now, so let's just crack on with it. We'll start off by looking at the Championship playoffs. As you can see, Sheffield United finished 10 points behind Burnley and Leeds United, who took the automatic spots this season, whereas Sunderland finished 14 points behind Sheffield United in 4th place with 76 points. 5th place Coventry City finished 7 points behind Sunderland with 69 points, whilst Bristol City, who took the last playoff spot, finished 1 place behind Coventry City with 68 points. Going down League to League 1, Stockport County finished 5 points behind the automatic spots in 3rd place, with Charlton Athletic finishing on 85 points and Wicker Wanderers finished on 84 points. Leyton Orient took the final playoff spot, finishing on 78 points in 6th place. And finally in League 2, Walsall, who were 12 points clear at the top of League 2 at the start of 2025, finished on 77 points, 1 point behind Bradford City, who won automatic promotion on the last day of the season. Obviously you saw that on the last episode with the promotion. The final playoff spots were taken by AFC Wimbledon, who finished 5th on 73 points, Notts County 6th on 72 points, and Chesterfield, who finished on 70 points in 7th place. Here's how the playoffs panned out in the EFL this season. Sheffield United comfortably reached the Championship playoff final, beating Bristol City 3-0 both home and away, finishing on an aggregate score of 6-0. Sunderland, meanwhile, travelled down to Coventry City's Ricoh Arena, where they won 2-1 away. In the reverse fixture at the Stadium of Light, Coventry took the lead, sending the match into extra time. In the 123rd minute of the match, Sunderland would find their winning goal, reaching the playoff final along with Sheffield United. In League 1, Leyton Orient and Stockport County drew 1-1 at Brisbane Road and 2-2 at Edgeley Park. Leyton Orient eventually won the match on penalties 4-1, their first playoff final in League 1 since 2014. Wycombe and Charlton's first playoff match, meanwhile, finished in a dull 0-0 draw at Adams Park, but in the reverse fixture at the Valley, Charlton Athletic managed to find a winning goal, winning 1-0 to reach the playoff final alongside Leyton Orient. Down in League 2, Walsall won 2-0 away at Chesterfield, and then 2-1 at home, winning their playoff match in aggregate 4-1. And finally, Wimbledon beat Notts County 1-0 both home and away to be Walsall's opponents of the League 2 playoff final this season.
The Scarves aloft on the field and we are underway.
Having finished 14 points above their opposition and only just missing out on the automatic promotion spots, Sheffield United was a clear favourite to win the Championship playoff final in the 2024-2025 football season. All seemed to be going well for the Blades when they took the lead in the first half. But in the climax of the match, Sunderland managed to find the equaliser. In the 4th minute of extra time, they would find the winner. Sunderland did not walk into Wembley Stadium that day as the favourites, nor were they the favourites to win the playoffs throughout the campaign, but they weren't the only non-favourites in the Football League this season to have won the playoffs. Despite falling behind Stockport County in the table, 4th place Charlton Athletic will be this year's League 1 playoff winners when they beat their London rivals Leyton Orient, and their South London rivals AFC Wimbledon win the playoff final against Walsall, who was 12 points at the top of League 2 at Christmas. All three of these teams proved that the 2024-2025 football season was truly a season for the underdogs. I'm sure that if anyone who's watching is a Charlton fan, a Wimbledon fan or a Sunderland fan, that was a joy to watch. They also know how cruel it must be for Sheffield United fans, Walsall fans, Leyton Orient fans, Stockport fans, Wycombe fans, anyone who's in the playoffs this season. I completely understand that it must be really hard to watch and really cruel to watch as well. But I'm going to shift the focus of the video now to what I really wanted to discuss in this video. Even though I said I wanted to cover Sheffield United, purely because they were a Yorkshire club. The National League this season, there wasn't just my team, Halifax Town, was in the playoffs. There was also York City, there was Rochdale, and there was of course the eventual winners, Oldham Athletic. The last two teams I mentioned being across the Pennines and Greater Manchester. There was also Forest Green Rovers, who had just been relegated the previous season, and there was Southend United, who had just sneaked into the playoff spots for the last couple of games with a really good run at the end. just sneaking past Gateshead, who seemed to be in it throughout most of the season. Of course, there's the fact that all 6 of us have at some point played in the Football League. We all know, together, that the National League is, when it comes to cruelty, it is probably one of the hardest leagues ever to get out of. And it all comes down to the very simple fact that there is only one automatic promotion spot. That place was taken up this season by Barnet, who won the league. In the Championship, 2 teams go up automatically, same with League 1. In League 2, 3 teams go up automatically. In the National League North and National League South, it's only 1 team that gets promoted automatically. I think, I could be wrong when I say this, but that's the case with most non-league divisions. Nearly a decade ago, the playoff system changed. It used to be 2nd place 5th, 3rd place 4th, played 2 legs, and then the winners would meet in the final, and whoever won the final would get promoted alongside the champions. But in 2017, the system's completely altered. I'll show you how really quickly, as well as how the playoffs overall panned out in the 2024-2025 football season this year. Here's how the playoffs of the National League actually work. Every team that finishes between 2nd and 7th in the division will compete in the playoffs, with the teams finishing 2nd and 3rd getting the bye into the semi-finals. Whilst every team that finishes between 4th and 7th in the division will play in the playoff eliminator. The team finishing 4th and the team finishing 7th will compete in the first eliminator, whilst the other playoff eliminator is between the teams that finish 5th and 6th. The winner of the first playoff eliminator will go on to face the team that finishes 2nd, whilst the other goes on to play the team that finishes 3rd. They then compete in the playoff semi-finals. Winners of both those matches will then meet up in the National League playoff final, the winner of which will gain promotion to the English Football League. The same system applies for the National League North and the National League South. Got that? This year for the National League, the playoffs were between York City, Forest Green Rovers, Rochdale, Oldham Athletic, Halifax Town and Southend United, with York City and Forest Green getting the byes as they finished 2nd and 3rd respectively. The first playoff eliminator was between 4th place Rochdale and 7th place Southend United. On a chaotic night, Southend United came out victorious. After drawing 3-3 after 90 minutes, Ethan Ebanks Landell would score the winner for Southend at the Crown Royal Arena and take Southend to the semi-final against Forest Green Rovers. Meanwhile, Crouch Park, 5th place Oldham, thrashed 6th place Halifax Town 4-0. Dreams get the final to reach their place with them against 2nd place York City. For both Oldham and Southend, the playoff semi-finals went exactly the same way as the eliminator, with Oldham Athletic once again thrashing their Yorkshire rivals 3-0 at York City, while Southend and Forest Green drew after 90 minutes. This time round, Southend won the match 4-2 penalties. The Shrimpers and Athletics both secured their place into this year's National League. So, the reason why I said, have you got that and all that stuff is because, to me, it's a really confusing system. As you can see, once again, the teams that just missed out on automatic promotion did not go up this season. York City finished 2nd and did not get promoted this season. Forest Green Rovers finished 3rd and didn't go up this season. Rochdale finished 4th and didn't go up this season. We finished in 6th this season, and the teams that finished in between us, Oldham Athletic and Southend United, the teams that finished 5th and 7th got to the playoff final this season. Like I said at the start, Southend United only just sneaked into it. I could be wrong, but I don't think either of these sides were expecting to reach the playoff final at the start of the campaign. A lot of these teams have been on a bad run towards the end of the season, but when you look at a team like York City, they weren't too far away from sneaking up to Barnet and just taking up that champion spot themselves. But alas, it was Oldham Athletic and Southend United. 2 very well supported teams, in fact the best 2 teams supported in that division. None of them were favourites to win it, go into Wembley, go into the playoff final to get promoted back to the English Football League, which they both so deserve to be in. And there is no denying it. Obviously, it was going to be a really hard day for one of the clubs and a very wonderful day for the other club. And I'm sure you all know by now whose day it actually was. Whilst it was neutral, the game between Oldham Athletic and Southend United was a very entertaining fixture, especially as we got into half-time. I don't feel right being the man to talk about it, given that it's 4 months later and I'm a Halifax Town fan. So I headed to Boundary Park to ask some of the fans what was it like to see Oldham Athletic return to the English Football League. And the response was they were happy, but we didn't quite want to talk on camera. Luckily, thanks to a gentleman in the Oldham Athletic club shop, do apologise by the way I've said that, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment by the way, he got me onto another YouTuber who does similar videos to what I do on YouTube and on TikTok, called Dylan Mellier. And he of course does videos for Oldham Athletic. I got chatting to him on the phone, I sent him some questions, and he sent me a video just kind of detailing what it was like to watch Oldham Athletic return to the Football League after all that time. Dylan, Thank you so much for getting back to me, mate, and without further ado, I'll leave it to him now to show you what it was like for Odd Athletic to get promoted back to the Football League.
Right, hello. I am privileged to be part of this, so thank you Stipend for inviting me to do it for About Oldham, because obviously this is kind of my forte. I do Oldham match vlogs myself. My channel is Dillamelia_OAFC if you want to check out any other videos, but I'm not going to take the credit away from Stipend because I think what he's doing is absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, I was nervous. I was a bit on edge if we weren't going to get him, especially because we started losing games coming into like the playoffs, and we picked up a win against Hartlepool and then a draw against York to actually get into the National League playoffs. Everyone knows playoffs is hard. No matter what league you're in, it can go either way, especially when there's only one round and there's not 2 rounds like some other playoffs. So going into the game against Halifax, I was nervous, but I was confident to beat them because we have beat them in the season already. So I weren't like going into that game like, oh, we're massive underdogs and we shouldn't win. I went into the game thinking we can beat these and get to the semi-finals guaranteed. And we were 3-0 up in 12 minutes, which, wow, that's just impressive in general. Not a lot of teams that can go 3-0 up in a playoffs in 12 minutes.
Alright, mate, there's nothing to go gloating on about it.
And then we got York in the semi-final. Tricky opponent, finished with 96 points, was one of the title favourites, alongside Barnet, who obviously went up. York, brilliant team, nice stadium.
Well, I'll give you that.
Really confident. When we played them, we lost at home and we drew away. So we did know we can push them to a point. As you guys might know now, the game finished 3-0. With none of the Oldham fan base expected us to beat York 3-0, but it happened. And yeah, then it's going on to Wembley. The nerves obviously kick in.
No bigger game, no greater occasion.
It's like a team that finished 5th to a team that finished 7th. Them the 2 largest fan bases in the National League, and we proved it because we broke the National League record for attendance at Wembley. It was my first time ever going to Wembley, so obviously biggest ground I've ever gone to. Walking in, it's a moment that any football fan wants to look at, especially for our playoffs, especially if you're a lower league team. Yes, some Premier League teams like going to Wembley, but if you go every year, it's not as impressive. So a team like Oldham, who haven't been to Wembley in years, all the fans that have actually come to see the new Wembley, because that's the last time we went Wembley, with the old Wembley, not the new one. So it was one of those massive, just enjoyed the atmosphere overall. Southend fans was respectful, they weren't aggressive or in any way, which some fan bases are. And we just let off loads of pyros, and that's the beauty of National League football. We just enjoy it, enjoy the moment, because it's something I hope never to be back in the National League, because we don't deserve to be there, and a lot of teams will agree with that.
Scott Morris to go right through the heart, and will he go in? He will! Charlie Kendall right there!
Going into the game, we didn't concede for the quarter-final and the semi-final of the playoff. We was 1-0 down in 4 minutes. Nervous then. The nerves starts kicking, are we going to lose at Wembley? And that's not what you want. Then we equalised with a penalty.
And maybe this could be their moment. Is it a penalty? It is! It's gonna! Gets there ahead of Bronze. Walker. Points ahead.
It went to extra time and they scored really early into extra time and then changed the ref for some weird reason. Don't know what happened. Still don't know what happened. Norwood's beautiful finish. I can't explain it into words how beautiful that finish was. How he took it round the keeper and then slotted it. And then literally 2 minutes later, Keane Havertz whips one in and it goes in. And it's one of the best limbs at Wembley, according to football fans. So I'll say that. It's my goal. It was a good game. I really enjoyed it. It was end to end. All the goals got scored at our end, so it was mint to watch. And I wouldn't have changed that game no matter what. The game was absolutely amazing.
Four months have now passed since Unathletic returned to the EFL. But that player find in May will forever be with us. The thing is, just looking around Boundary Park today, I mean, look at it. That's an EFL stadium. It's an EFL club. Unathletic deserve to be back in the Football League, but the thing is, you could probably say the same thing about York City or Rochdale. Unlike the three leagues above the National League, Oldham didn't win the playoff semi-finals and then the playoff final. They won 3 playoff games, an eliminator, semi-final and the final. Against all the odds, they did it in the most unlikely way possible. For every end, there's a new beginning. And for many of these football clubs, it means life in a new division or starting all over again from the start. I asked Dylan, how's life in League 2 going so far for Oldham Athletic?
At the start, we started picking up draws against good teams like MK Dons, Bristol. Like, these are good teams and League 1 worthy or League 2 favourites, and getting them straight away and getting draws out of them is really good. Yes, we had a little bit of a slipper where we started going draws and then losses. We're not picking up points. We're thinking, oh, we're going to might get stay bottom half of the League 2, but our recent games was Cambridge away, where our manager, Mickey Mellon, his son, actually scored on his debut to win us our first game at Cambridge away. And then we played a Bromley, who was undefeated before they played Oldham, and we beat them. Another 1-0. Yeah, our strikers are just picking up goals and our defence is really solid. We've got one of the best defences in the league so far. Alongside, I think it's Walsall and someone else. I have forgotten. I do apologise, but we have got a good defence, and I honestly believe a top half or maybe even a slip into playoffs is what's going to happen this season, and I really hope it happens.
Whilst it's great to see a team like Oldham come back, you think about those other 5 teams. You think about Southend with the beat in the final. The National League is literally divided by teams who want to get back to the Football League and win it for several years, or they're non-league clubs who are really ambitious and trying to go all the way from going from the 5th tier, 6th tier, 7th tier, you know, a lot of backing. And that's the reason why I made the video today. I think we can all agree that one automatic spot is not enough. We know that, everyone in the National League knows that, everyone who kind of neutrally watches National League or just observes National League knows that one automatic spot one automatic spot is not enough. After Dylan sent me his video, I actually gave him another text just to kind of thank him and stuff, and I asked him, what do you think of the National League playoffs? Do you think that the system should change at all? And we both agreed that it should be 2 teams going up automatically, not just the one. The playoffs should be between 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, just exactly the same way it is with Championship and League 1. And any team that finishes 22nd, 23rd and 24th in League 2 should be the ones relegated to the National League. This is something that the National League has actually pushed for the last couple of years, but unfortunately, the EFL has pushed back on it, and you can sort of see why. The EFL clubs haven't seen it, and of course, none of them want to go down to non-league. It doesn't look like the system's going to change anytime soon, but we can keep trying. It's apparent that the National League wants it, we all want it as National League clubs. A lot of neutrals think that it's time that we had more than just one automatic promotion spot. When you look at some of the teams that have been in the last couple of years, we look at some of the teams that have been all together. Yeah, it's about time. Of course, I'm saying it a bit as a Halifax Town fan because I want my team to get promoted. But you can look at any of the 24 National League clubs. They've all got good reason. A tough, very hard playoff system and the only automatic promotion spot going to the champions. You get why for some fans it just feels impossible. When you look at how hard the playoffs is, how the system's structured, not just in this league but in the 6th tier as well at National League North, National League South, things could probably be done better. But despite that, this club's got what it deserves. And while it was hard as a Halifax fan to come here back in May and just see us get utterly demolished by Old Athletic, I couldn't be more happy for him to get back. And it's the same thing I think now about some other clubs in our league. Of course, I hope our turn comes one day, and you know what to say, every dog has its day. And last year's, it was Old Athletics. Wish them and everyone who I've discussed in this video all the best for the future. Good luck, and thanks to everyone for the interviews today as well.